And we are starting in three, two, one. Welcome back to Epstein Files Review. As always, if you are under the age of 18, this is an 18 and up channel, so please exit. For all of you guys that are catching this as your first episode, you may want to go back to episode one. We're going to go through every single Epstein file, frame by frame, document by document, picture by picture, video by video. But not to waste any more time because as you know we have a lot to cover. I'm just going to jump right back in. So we finished at file 300, and actually since we've seen file 300, well, we'll just click on it one more time. But let's just get back to business. Okay, so this appears to be one of the beds that was in the last room we looked at. Looks like it's got kind of a chinchilla cover going there. And on to the next file. I still haven't heard feedback on if you guys want to do 1 hour segments or continue to do 100 files per video. Okay, this is room CC. Looks like a kitchen here. If you guys are more interested in doing 100 files, if I get an overwhelming majority in the comment section that wants to do that, then we will most certainly do that. But for now, I want to make the files digestible and not overburden you guys because 6 million files is a lot of files to get through, so we got to pace ourselves. So here's another look at a kitchen. Looks pretty normal. Refrigerator, toaster here, oven, nothing too crazy. And we want to grow awareness of this channel. I think these files are very important. We can't just go back to our normal lives and go to Starbucks after this has been released. So please subscribe, comment, set your notifications, and most importantly, share, even if it's just a video, to get people aware of what we're not seeing and what's not being talked about, at least not enough. Okay, here's another angle of the kitchen. Moving right along. Okay, it's that same kitchen there. We're not going to spend much time on files that don't have much information. It's a doorway. DD was the labeling on the door. This place has so many rooms they had to label all of them. Okay, this looks like another bedroom, and once again, you have these chairs. All of these rooms have these chairs that wouldn't be for just one person. It's almost like they turn these bedrooms into a movie theater. I'm wondering what was going on in these bedrooms that you need so much lounge furniture. Okay, here's another angle of that room. There's the door there. All right. Another angle of the same room. We could tell it's the same room. It's got the DD. Mustard colored carpet. Okay, another angle of the same room. Nothing too crazy going on here. I think they're just documenting the entire layout of his property. There's a closet, no clothes in it. Another shower. So many showers in this house. Now, I found out recently that this particular property that we're reviewing, that we're looking at the pictures of in the file, used to be, I believe, a boarding school that Epstein bought, and then he spent about, I think it was $20 million just remodeling it, making it what he would want it to be. Okay, this looks like some sort of drainage area. Okay, room EE. So I noticed that it seems like they take a picture of the door and then they go inside. They take a dark natural light picture and then they illuminate the room to take more detailed pictures. This looks like a storage pantry for shoes here. Nothing too crazy there. Another storage pantry. Suitcases. Looks like some cushions, maybe some comforters there. Looks like chair cushions. Some different angle there. Just totes and stuff. Little model plane up here. Looks like it's in the same pantry corner. Now, mind you, every file isn't going to be the most interesting. Another angle of the same room. But what's important for transparency is that we go through every single file. And who knows, some of these rooms that we think nothing is going on, by us having, you know, so many eyes and us reviewing it together, perhaps you guys will see something I don't. And please put that in the comment section. All right, room FF. More eyes is always better. Okay, here's a hallway. Window. Now it looks like this window is, I don't know if they took these pictures at night. Perhaps these windows are blacked out, or it could just be dark. But if the windows are blacked out, that would be really interesting. Okay, so here's an office of some sort. You've got like this professional looking printer here. This looks like something that you would have if you were drawing like architectural maps or something like that. Some office furniture there. Let's see what this is. This is just a paperweight. I don't see anything too significant there. I wonder what that is. I don't think we're going to be able to zoom in close enough to see exactly what those pictures are. Let me see if I can get a little closer. Yeah, it just pixelates. So we can't really tell what that is. Maybe they'll take a picture of that by itself. That's a little closer. Okay, here's another angle of the office. Looks like two hands here. There's some sort of magazine. Another one of those phones. Some pictures and books. Let's see if we can see anything significant here. This might be like a lighthouse. This looks like a staircase. All right, another angle of the same office. I don't know if these are speakers. Oh no, those are lights. They're emitting light. Okay, another angle of the same office here. Nothing too crazy going on there. All right, some more file cabinets here. Looks like we got some sort of binders, black books there that appear to be labeled. A sink here. So maybe this is another half bathroom outside this room. Yep, there's another half bathroom. All right, another shower. This place has so many bathrooms, so many showers, and so many books, so many pictures. All right, so here's another angle of that room. And those little personalized totes there, little mini totes. Okay, there's a closer look. Are those pictures? I don't know what that is. Moving right along. Okay, so now we've got a closer look at those binders. Let's see if we could see what any of these say. Can't really make it out, but it has to be something important because you can see some redactions there. I don't know why they've redacted some of this stuff, unless it was something that was incriminating. But since it's a criminal investigation, you would think that they would allow all the criminal activity or anything that alludes to criminal activity be clear and visible, but that doesn't seem to be the case. Okay, I can't make out any of that writing just yet. I'm assuming that they're going to get some close-ups of that so we could see it a little better. Okay, here's some more of those cabinets. I'm trying to see if I can make out. Okay, this looks like magazines. Zorro, we know Zorro Island was an island he had in New Mexico. Design ideas. Photos of Jeffrey Epstein. Everything's categorized. We would need to see what's in those boxes. Office supplies. Okay, what do we have here? Okay, it says Paris, PB, maybe Palm Beach, Zorro. So these are his properties. Zorro Ranch, New Mexico, his home in Florida, and perhaps he had a place in Paris. Maybe this is the New York home. I can't really make out Paris 2, Paris 1. Okay, a little office space here with a little desk, candle. Looks like a boiler room of some sort. Another angle of that engineering room there. Another angle looks like some electric panels of some sort. Can't really get a clear look at the writing. And we're at the stairs, so maybe they're going to the next floor. All of these floors have a significant number of rooms, so we're going to the 6th floor. Okay, another angle of that fire hydrant. Looks like they've got some fertilizer or something like that there. I don't know if he was doing a little gardening. Yeah, some potting soil, of course, 24-hour video surveillance. That makes you wonder, why would Jeffrey pick a school to buy for a home? Now, if it's a school this big, maybe it already had cameras. I don't know if those signs were there from the school or if he put them in himself, but we know that he was doing a lot of surveillance, and you would think a public building would have a lot of surveillance, especially if it has children, to just to be for security purposes. That might be the reason he chose this residence. Looks like there's some lockers back here, maybe like a heater or a HVAC. Okay, more of this room with the pipes. Looks like some sort of ventilation system there. Yep, definitely some sort of control room. All right. We are halfway through the 100 files for this video. Yeah, these definitely look like some sort of, or maybe there's panels back here, switches or something, like an electric board or something. Or maybe these are supplies, but it's definitely some sort of maintenance room. Me personally, I think going through 100 files at a time is good. Keeps our minds fresh. It's digestible. Keeps the videos around 30 minutes. Yeah, this is heating water, so these are water pipes and things like that. Like I said, there's no quick way to get through 6 million files, so it's kind of like eating an elephant, You want to do it in small bites. Okay, so this is another picture of the same room. You eat too fast, you're just going to get full quick. All right, so they're taking a lot of pictures of this room here. It's a lot of the same here, different angles. Got some cabinets here. It looks like these are like these long form prints here. Maybe that's what was being used with that giant printer. And more suitcases, boxes. Okay, it looks like some furniture that maybe he just wasn't using. So this floor might be more of like a storage unit, which I'm sure he had more than enough space to have storage rooms. There's some rugs. I mean, with all the rooms and floors in this house, surprised we haven't seen a movie theater yet. All right, so this looks like it might be some sort of electric panel. I think these are electric panels. Some more miscellaneous furniture there. Some more storage. This looks like it's just light master lock set. Yeah, so this is just random supplies. Different angle of the supplies. Some light bulbs. All right, more control room stuff. Okay, this is redacted, but it looks like another doorway. Hallway. Another angle of that same hallway. Okay, got some pictures here, and they're redacted. I don't know the age of this individual. They look very gaunt, though, I must say that, but they are redacted. So is this a child? I don't know. We don't want to assume, but it is redacted. So make of that what you will. I would assume if these were adults, these pictures wouldn't be blacked out. So there's another blacked out picture there in this half bathroom. See if we can get a closer look. The face is blocked out. Now, this just looks like art. Unless this pertained to a particular individual, I see no reason for this picture to be redacted. So maybe there's something more to that. Looks like an island here. I'm not sure if that's Little St. James. Okay, another hallway there from this bathroom. This is just the other angle. Looks like traffic here in this picture. Looks like a little kitchen there. Seems like he's got these pictures of what appears to potentially be minors in every single room. Some glasses there. I don't know what this is. But yeah, that's strange behavior. No one needs that many pictures of questionable age children. If it is, like I said, we're not going to assume, but like I said, that seems to be the only reason I could see there being so much redaction. So it looks like there's a photo there, redacted. What is this? Is that a statue of a child? I mean, given the size, this is about 1, 2, 3 feet, maybe 3.5. So, and then there's some pictures here. Looks like potentially someone in a tutu. And then, oh, I didn't even notice this lamp here. Some photos on the table. Yeah, it's just, what do we make of this? What do we make of this? And there's another redacted photo in the corner here. Now, that is definitely a young child. And, if you walked into someone's living room and they had a painting of, something like that, you would assume it was a relative or something, but why is it redacted? It's not like it's a child in a compromised position or anything. It's a child fully clothed, unless it's someone that they don't want us to know or somebody relevant that may potentially have a case or have made a police report. I don't know. So this looks like a body without a head here. There's more of this chinchilla coverings, lots of leopard print and cheetah print. There's a picture, redaction of some sort of island coast. Pictures of children in every single room. All right, another wide angle of that room. Another angle of the same room. There's that tutu thing there. Okay, so maybe this was what the fertilizer was for. Looks like this opens up to some sort of balcony. See if we can get a better look at that. Okay, so now we're on the balcony. Here's some plants, trees, and this is interesting. In a couple episodes ago, I don't know if it was, I think it was the second episode when we went to the second floor, and of course she had the weird woman in the wedding dress hanging from the rope, or maybe it was around her neck. I couldn't necessarily tell, but it looked like it was around her neck. There were paintings of clouds or above clouds in the sky on the second floor of the house, and now we're looking at the um, the banister here, and it has almost like a coastal painting with more clouds. So I don't know if he's reminiscing of his island, St. James. Maybe this is a point of view from the island that he's brought to New York. It's very interesting. Most people would be looking at the view over the balcony, but not Jeffrey, apparently. Okay, here's another angle of that balcony there. All right, looks like we're going up another floor. More fire hydrants. Okay, this is the roof level. So I think we finally made it to the top floor of this house, this endless house. All right. Looks like some sort of roof access door there. Okay, maybe it wasn't a door you could open because it looks like they might be going back down the stairs. They might not have roof access. If they didn't, who knows what's on that roof? Because most people wouldn't be coming to take a look at the roof or going on the roof, so you could probably have a lot of things up there that people wouldn't have access to. I would assume that they would, with a warrant, they would force entry like they did in the front door. I think that was like the very first photos in file one that we saw where they pried the door open. So I don't see why we don't have a picture of that door being pried open. The cellar. Yeah, if we don't see what's outside that door on the roof, I have questions. I mean, even if there was nothing out there, there should be a picture of it just to show that they covered all bases. I mean, they've taken pictures of everything else, books. Okay, room JJ. It's a water cooler. This looks like a pseudo kitchen, almost like you would see in a break room in a office. It's kind of what it reminds me of. There's another angle of the same picture. I think this is some sort of kitchen. Yeah, that's a big kitchen. It's got the flat plate for cooking, stove burners, refrigerator, microwave, maybe some serving trays here, trash can. Another angle of that kitchen. He must have had chefs or something because that's a lot of kitchen area for personal use. Some refrigerators, more refrigerators, deep freezers. Another angle of that kitchen. All right, we've got about 10 more files left in this video. We're just going to get through that. Another angle of the refrigerator, a little TV there. All right, room KK. All right, it's the hallway. Outside the door. Okay, this is an unfinished room here. You could see they got some electrical outlets and things that are just hanging out there. It looks like, what is that on the door? Did they tape these doors shut, or is this? No, this is actually, it looks like a bar that would keep the door from being broken into. As you see, these are the little latches that this drop bar, and it hooks around that wall. So basically, if someone were to kick in this door, this would support the door and stop it from being open. My question is, why would you need that kind of extra level protection for a door? Unless one, you were concerned about someone getting in that door. Well, actually, yeah, it would definitely have to be more about someone getting in that door, because if you were holding someone captive in the door, obviously the latch is on the inside and you could just lift it and open the door. So this is clearly a measure to keep someone out. So I don't know what was going on in this room, and it looks like it's very unfinished, right? There's not much going on in this room. And what do we have here? A drainage hole. Why would you need a drainage hole in the middle of the room? And why would you need a bar to keep people out? This looks very suspicious, in my opinion. I mean, the only places I think you would have something like that would be like a drug house, or if you're doing some sort of illegal activity. Like I said, I'm not insinuating in any way. I'm just telling it how it is. That's just how it looks. But somehow, even though there's no furniture in the room, it still has these phones. It still has the phone. You can't sit down, but you can make a phone call. It's very interesting. All right, here's another room here. These are definitely electric panels. All right, little kitchen sink there. Now this is what I believe catches the smoke when you're cooking, but there's no stove there. So is this some sort of half kitchen? Not necessarily sure. But this is a highly questionable room. Okay, you got some little pieces of furniture with random things on it, wires and cords. There's another phone. And number 400, the doorway to this unfinished room where there's just wires and emptiness. So I don't know if this was just a room that was used for things that, weren't supposed to be common knowledge. I mean, these are upper rooms. This is the cellar, I believe, the upper rooms of the house. And as elaborately decorated as the rest of the house is, I mean, all the books and the chandeliers and all that, I find it very interesting that the only thing that this room had was a bar blocking you from entering the room, a phone, and a drainage hose. I mean, a drainage hole there. So make of that what you will, but I've taken enough of your time in this video. Like I said, I want to make this very digestible, and definitely in the comment section, let me know what your thoughts are on these images. Like I said, it's to get the conversation started. I don't think people are talking about this enough, which is why we have to bring these files to them. So if people are putting their heads in a hole, there's no excuse to not know what's going on in these files, because we're going to go through every single file one by one, and it's going to be accessible on YouTube. So there's no reason for you not to inquire about what's going on in your world without logins, without being near a computer. You now have access to the Epstein files in the palm of your hand on your cell phone. So there's really no excuses for not knowing what's going on. But I've kept you guys long enough in this episode. Like I said earlier, make sure you comment, let me know your thoughts, subscribe so we can continue to grow our viewership and the message and awareness. And more importantly, share the videos on your social media, whether it be Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, just so people can see this and we can get this out of the dark and bring it to the light. With that being said, I will see you guys in the next episode where we will be starting at file 400. Till next time.